Good morning, everyone. Mr. Lyman Pope, Chairman of the Board of the County, Commissioner McGlaris, Commissioner Rollo, and Commissioner Watson, fellow board members, staff and volunteers, members of the county delegation, honored guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rachel Copeland, and I am honored to be the chairman of the board for the Pope Memorial Cocheco Valley Humane Society. On behalf of PMCVHS, I would like to take the time to thank you for joining us today for this momentous occasion. The groundbreaking ceremony this morning marks the commencement of our construction for our new community animal shelter. Our story begins in 1984 when our shelter first opened. The mission? To promote the humane treatment of animals in Stratford County and southern Maine. In 2017, we were able to place more than 800 animals into their forever homes. So far in 2018, we've placed 281. Those numbers are contributing to the overall 4 million cats and dogs that are adopted from shelters across the country each year. Our 100-year-old building, which you may know was once a piggery for a farm, has served its time. Yes. We have outgrown our 7,000 square foot facility. The staff and volunteers have done an amazing job continuing to work within this aging building over the years. But now it's time to give a new home to our shelter animals, our staff and volunteers, and our community. It's time to bring us home. As we look to the next chapter of the shelter, we are excited to start the construction of our new 11,000 square foot facility, which will be situated on 6.5 acres of this beautiful countryside. Chuck Moretti with NCM Construction Management will be coordinating the construction and the schedule. It has not gone unnoticed the time and effort that he and his team have put in to this project over the years, along with Peter Stewart of Stewart Associate Architects and John Lorden of TF Moran. Steve Height with Civil Works New England will also be helping to coordinate the construction. Also, thank you, a big thank you, to Kennebunk Savings Bank and Federal Savings Bank. Without them, this would not be possible. According to animalsheltering.org, during the past 5 years, there's been a nearly 10% increase in shelter dogs being adopted and a 5% increase for shelter cats. Without the support of the community, our 1,100 Instagram followers and our nearly 13,000 Facebook followers, this would not be possible. We have continued to grow awareness and support. Again, we would not be successful without your financial contributions and dedication. I would also like to thank Karen Zaramba and Kelly Glennon, who co-chaired the capital campaign over the past several years. Their tireless effort their tireless work in creating this footprint has helped to get us to where we are today. Finally, I would like to take a moment to recognize Mr. Lyman Pope. Mr. Pope is retired from the real estate business and has pursued his passion ever since, to help support animal shelters that care for the pets he loves so very much. Because of his commitment and love for animals, there are 38 shelters across New England that have received his support. Mr. Pope. Mr. Pope, we cannot thank you enough. We are honored and humbled by your generosity. Once again, I would like to thank all of you, our special guests, this morning for taking the time to make this groundbreaking ceremony a success. Now, I would like to turn it over to Commissioner McGlaris for a few words.
All these women had it. Good morning, everyone. 77 years ago, I can only say that building over there has been through a lot, and so have I as a co-founder of the Humane Society 34 years ago. It's my privilege to be here this morning with my colleagues, Commissioner Watson and Commissioner Rollo, and Chairman Schmidt of the county delegation, and there are several other state representatives here who have lent their support for many, many years for the Humane Society. And this is a historic moment here in Stratford County for two reasons. Number one, we're going to build this fine, brand new facility for those who are voiceless. But more importantly, the fact that I'm still standing here, that's a very important event as well. But you know, in trying to determine what I wanted to speak to you this morning about, I just wanted to take an opportunity. I've worked with many, many volunteers over many years for this facility. And it's had a lot of fits and starts over the course of time. But we're finally here through the kindness and generosity of so many people over many, many years. And of course, Mr. Pope putting the effort over the top. And it's fitting that we name this facility after him for his kindness that he's shown so many folks across New England over the course of his life. You know, in these times, it's hard to see the truth from the false, but today we stand here. This type of effort that we have going on here today makes us all human. It's a bit of humanity that we're demonstrating here today. As we give rise to the voiceless, it's so nice to see so many puppies here. I just don't see any cats. But in doing so, those who have been involved have the Commission's heartfelt thanks, and it's just such a great event. You know, years ago when we founded the Humane Society in the old piggery, and that's what it was. It was a piggery. It was an interesting situation because we didn't have a lot of running water over there. And we still don't, right? Hopefully in a new facility we'll have some toilets that work too. That would be nice. But my colleagues and I were discussing recently, what are we going to do with the old piggery now once this new facility comes about? And we've been talking about all kinds of unique opportunities to reinvent that building. And it's kind of run the gambit. But in any event, it's my pleasure to be here with you all this morning and on this historic occasion for Stratford County. Thank you all very, very much for your kindness, your time, and in many instances, sweat, and in Mr. Pope's case, some of his money, to make this happen. So, again, thank you all very much, and it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner McGlarris. Next, I would like to invite Deborah Shelton, our Development Director, to say a few words about our supporters.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. This is probably the most exciting day in my 25 years of fundraising that I've ever been to. I was involved with the board for years, and now actually seeing this happening and seeing all the people that have supported this in one way or another, the blood, sweat, and tears of staff, volunteers, of the donors, and without you, Mr. Pope, we wouldn't be able to do this, so thank you so, so much. Looking forward to actually having the building start to go up. It's been exciting this week, actually, driving by every day to come to work and seeing the posts in the ground and the surveyors out and the equipment start to be delivered. So when we see the first real digging start, we're all going to be really excited. And maybe we'll be in by the end of this year. That would be an incredible, incredible experience. There are a couple other donors that I'd really like to honor this morning, and that would be Federal Savings Bank and Kennebunk Savings Bank and C&J Bus Lines. They all stepped forward before any of the other businesses in the area when we first started the campaign, and have done a phenomenal job of helping us to get the financing that we needed to put us over the top to get the building in the ground this year. So thank you all so much for what you've done to make this happen. Also, Eric Lothar and the Haunted Overload people have done a phenomenal job of supporting us over the years, and in the last few, they have supported the campaign and will be doing the cat room, so that it's an honor to have them and to have them be our partner. And I'm sorry Eric couldn't be here today, but one of his colleagues is here with us, and thank you very much, Wallace, for being here. We actually had a surprise donor come forward a couple of times in the last couple of years to do a challenge for us over the course of September through December 15th. And that donor, through their challenge, helped us raise another $100,000. So thanks to them for thinking of doing a challenge like that and helping people to really stretch to help us get another $100,000. And another person that has done a phenomenal job in supporting us over the years and then really stepped up for the capital campaign is Lisa Casaccio at Rochester Toyota. She was a supporter of our dog walk as the major sponsor for years, and then became a campaign donor, and $250 at a time raised $10,000 and then had it matched by Toyota National. So thank you, Lisa. There are so many people that I could thank, and I just want to thank all of you. I can't read everybody's names, but so many people have done cat cages, have just made unrestricted gifts to the capital campaign just to be used wherever it's needed most. And we really truly appreciate that, because again, there's so many different things that you have to do and so many surprises that happen when you build a building like this, that it's a great opportunity for us to have money that's unrestricted that we can use in different ways. So thank you all so much for all you've done to support us.
Thank you so much, Deborah. Finally, this morning, I'd like to invite Mr. James Brennan. He's the President and Chief Executive Officer. Okay, yes, very formal. Or Jim. He is the CEO of the Dover branch for the Federal Savings Bank. Thank you.
James is what my mother calls me when she's mad at me. Most of the time, I'm afraid. Well, we're happy to be here today and happy to partner with Kennebunk Savings Bank and Stratford Economic Development Corp. to help make this happen. Been a tremendous amount of effort by a lot of volunteers, a lot of financial people, architects, builders, designers, on, to make this happen. The need is great. You don't have to spend but 30 seconds in the existing facility, and this facility sells itself. It really does. I'll talk a little bit about bringing the money folks together on this, none of which could have been possible without Mr. Pope's participation. It's incredibly generous and going to be a legacy for many, many years to come that'll benefit the whole Seacoast area. But to keep the pet analogy going, getting multiple banks and an economic development agency to coalesce around one financing project is a lot like herding feral cats. And speaking of cats, I would be remiss if not working into the discussion. I'm sure that people from the press are not going to write this down, but the dedication that some directors and volunteers will go to help make this happen and help advance the cause is incredible. Because I heard a story that you might want to ask Karen Zaramber about, that as a director of the Humane Society, Cocheco Valley Humane Society, there was a certain cat that used to attend board meetings that had a will of its own. And I understand that ladies' purses are quite expensive these days, but through the generosity of Karen, it doubled as a litter box at a board meeting, and never skipped a beat. Thank you. But no, again, you know, the fundraising part of this doesn't end today. This is a groundbreaking that is a happy, momentous day for everybody involved. But the task goes on. Caring for the animals of our community in a positive way, in a constructive way, is our collective social responsibility. We all want to have pets. We all want to enjoy pets, but there's a social responsibility that goes along with that, and a financial responsibility. So, on behalf of the lenders and the money people, I want to thank you all, and congratulations to Cocheco Valley Humane Society.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim. Before we move to the groundbreaking ceremony, I'd just like to take a brief moment. We received a letter from U.S. Senator Jean Shaheen. She could not be with us today, but she did send this letter, and I wanted to read this to you. Dear friends, congratulations on the new Pope Memorial Cocheco Valley Humane Society facility, and thank you for the invitation to join the groundbreaking ceremony. I wish I could be there as you celebrate this great advancement. This new facility will enable you to grow your current work as advocates for the safety, health, and well-being of animals. Along with the ability to shelter more animals and connect more homeless pets with loving owners, you will be able to provide more community resources and expand the educational programs that you already offer. The community's generous support of this new facility shows the positive impact that your work continues to have on the residents of New Hampshire and Southern Maine. Congratulations once again, and thank you for the compassionate work that you do. Sincerely, Jean Shaheen. Okay, I think we're ready to grab some shovels and make it happen.